Just Cheesy the Podcast, presented by Just Cheesy Productions.
Hi there, I'm your host, Fondue. In this week's episode, we're going to talk about queso.
Queso, woo woo.
We're going to talk cheese dip, the World Cheese Dip Championship.
Champions.
We're talking nachos, free queso,
Whoa.
and, of course, we're going to tell a very cheesy joke.
Yeah, we are.
Stay tuned for Season 2, Episode 19 of Just Cheesy, the podcast. So cheesy, did you know that National Queso Day was September 20th?
We missed it?
We celebrated it, but we didn't have an opportunity to talk about it on the pod because we had National Cheeseburger Day, National Queso Day, and National String Cheese Day all in 1 week.
That's right.
The word queso literally means cheese in Spanish.
It does?
Now, the queso we're talking about is technically chili con queso.
It is?
According to Marizone.com, it is believed that queso originated in the 19th century in the Chihuahua state in northern Mexico.
Okay.
But the first known recipe for queso is actually recorded from 1896
Oh.
in an American magazine called The Land of Sunshine. This dish was called chili verde con queso, which translates to green chilies with cheese.
Yum.
And it was categorized as Mexican food and originally focused on the chilies more than the cheese.
Wow.
We have several other types of queso.
Really?
We have queso flamado, which means flamed cheese. We have queso fundido, which means melted cheese.
Fundito.
Both of these queso dishes are often served flambé.
Flambe.
Flambé actually is a French word that means flame.
Ooh.
In this cooking procedure, an alcoholic beverage is added to the dish and it's lit on fire.
Whoa.
And this helps to melt the cheese. It's often compared to cheese fondue.
Yum.
The typical main ingredients are cheese and then sometimes a meat sauce of loose chorizo, tomato, onion, chili, and spices.
Yum.
It's typically spooned onto soft tortillas for individual serving.
Yummy.
Now, a lot of us think of queso as a yellow cheese dip. Think
Yeah.
Velveeta and Rotel.
Yeah.
But that's not actually Mexican cuisine.
It's not?
You typically won't find a yellow cheese dip in Mexico.
Really?
According to SpoonUniversity.com, you won't find cheddar or Monterey Jack in Mexico. That's typically Tex-Mex.
Oh.
The two most commonly used cheeses in Mexican cuisine are queso fresco and queso Oaxaca.
Oh, Oaxaca.
And if you want to know a little bit more about Oaxaca cheese, go back to Season 2, Episode 13, the Big O episode.
I remember.
The article likens queso fresco to feta or parmesan.
Ooh.
They liken queso Oaxaca to mozzarella.
Oh.
And it also says in authentic Mexican cuisine, cheese is used sparingly.
Aw.
I don't know about you, Cheesy, but when I think of queso, I also think of nachos.
Ooh, nachos.
Apparently, nachos didn't come into the picture until 1940.
Really?
According to Wikipedia, Ignacio Nacho Anaya from Piedras Negras, just over the border from Eagle Pass, Texas,
Wow.
was asked if he could bring some customers a different snack.
Oh.
Anaya went into the kitchen, saw some corn tortillas,
Yeah.
and cut them into triangles, fried them, shredded some cheese, quickly added heat to it, and then added sliced pickled jalapeno peppers.
Nice.
The patrons asked what they could call the dish, and Ignacio said you can call them Nachos Special.
That makes sense.
And it says here, Nacho is a common nickname for the name Ignacio.
Who knew?
Ignacio's original recipe was printed in the 1954 cookbook called St. Anne's Cookbook.
Holy cow.
Nachos. Not a sponsor,
Nope.
but if they were, their ad would go right here. We can't very well talk about queso without talking about Arkansas and cheese dip.
Arkansas.
That's right. I said Arkansas. I
Okay.
didn't say Texas or Mexico.
Right.
I said Arkansas.
Okay.
According to the website encyclopediaofarkansas.net, Nick Rogers researched the history of cheese dip. It was invented by Blackie Donnelly, the original owner of Mexico Chiquito restaurants.
Okay.
And according to Mexico Chiquito's website, this is a very secret recipe.
Ooh.
And they claim to have the best cheese dip you've ever tasted.
Okay.
Now, EncyclopediaofArkansas.net also says that there are others that claim that cheese dip was invented in either a Mexican restaurant in Hot
Right.
Springs or in Texas.
Right.
But in either case, the popularity of cheese dip is undeniable in Arkansas.
That's right.
They even host the World Cheese Dip Championships.
They do?
They actually have rules as to what's considered a cheese dip.
What's the rule?
It's defined as, and I quote, a dip made of primarily cheese or processed cheese product
Yeah.
with or without additional ingredients,
Okay.
not limited to meats, vegetables, or dairy additives, served warm or hot, and eaten primarily by dipping a hard tortilla or chip into said product.
Ooh, yummy.
And they say here the most popular variation is basically Kraft or Velveeta mixed with
Okay.
chili sauce, but there are thousands of different recipes.
Wow.
The World Cheese Championships started in 2009 after a 20-minute documentary titled In Queso Fever, a movie about cheese dip.
Queso fever.
According to theauxilia.com, the World Cheese Dip Championship has since become one of 2 annual fundraisers for Harmony Health Clinic.
Aw.
The Harmony Health Clinic is a nonprofit free medical and dental clinic in Little Rock.
Nice.
This year's competition will be held on Sunday, October 30th from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Wow.
And tickets are $20 a piece. This includes all-you-can-eat cheese dip, chips, and 1 drink ticket.
Nice.
It's time for my favorite segment.
This week in cheese.
Moe's Southwest Grill gave away free queso on September 20th.
They did?
So if you missed that,
Yeah.
we've got some other people that are giving away queso.
Good.
Qdoba is giving away free chips and queso with a $15 order and a coupon through September 26th.
Ooh.
On the Border launched something called a Queso Club. It started this September, and account holders who acquire a club subscription can have free queso for 365 consecutive days.
Whoa.
And Torchy's Tacos is giving away free deliveries from National Queso Day the 20th to the 26th of September.
Wow.
Are you ready for a joke, Cheesy?
I sure am, Fondue.
Okay. Why did the person keep extra cheese in their pocket?
I don't know why.
In queso emergency.
Wow.
Get it? In queso emergency?
Oh, it's so dorky.
Oh, I am certain that it was definitely dorky. It was also a little bit cheesy. Thanks for listening to Just Cheesy the Podcast, Season 2, Episode 19.
Thank you.
Be sure and like and subscribe, and check us out on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram.
Stay cheesy, everybody.